Good morning. Today we're on our second week of our message series called Defining Moments. We humans tend to judge and evaluate our lives based on specific moments that come to stand for the whole. Moments matter because they form a lens through which we see and understand ourselves, our world, and our relationships, particularly our relationship with God. And God uses moments in our life to connect with us, to share his purpose and plan for our lives, and to encourage us. Today we're going to look at a defining moment that we all face in our lives. We're looking at those times when we're forced to grow by stepping up to meet a challenge and stepping out of our comfort zone. Times when our character is tested and challenged to do something difficult and uncomfortable. Growth is almost always outside our comfort zone. If you're never uncomfortable, you will never grow. Just as you only burn fat or grow a muscle through the discomfort of working out, you cannot grow emotionally, spiritually, or intellectually without getting uncomfortable. God knows this, and so God allows situations in our lives that lead to our discomfort, meaning that they lead to our growth. Our character is the one thing we take with us to heaven. And if we're not actively developing our character, then occasionally God, in his mercy and love, gives us an opportunity to move forward. When God does this, that discomfort may come in a person like John the Baptist. Jesus said John was the greatest man that ever lived, but his personality was such that probably we wouldn't be too tempted to go and have a beer with him. Just doesn't feel like John the Baptist was a gentle personality, that he probably created a lot of those defining moments for a lot of people by creating discomfort in their lives. Seems like he would make you feel uncomfortable because he was such a righteous person. Often we don't hold ourselves accountable when someone in authority tells us we're not living right. It's easier to dismiss them as crazy or obnoxious. We'd rather live in a world of absolutes. But the love that Jesus taught, the love that John the Baptist taught, is much deeper than just right and wrong. For example, Pope Francis had said some things which have really challenged a lot of people. They may have been issues that you previously thought of as right and wrong, and you thought you knew the answer. But the Pope is telling us that there is a more right answer. He calls us to a higher level of right and wrong. He calls us to love one another. And people don't like him for saying this, but he is the Pope, the man chosen by the Holy Spirit to lead the church. So if what the Pope says is challenging to us, maybe that discomfort is calling each and every single one of us to a higher level of love. Throughout our lives, we have moments like that, moments in which we can either choose to rise to the occasion and grow, or resist growth and just stay the same. Look for the John the Baptist in your life and embrace that person. We may need to learn other values from God. Here's the thing. The moments when you're most tempted to shut down a conversation or tune out what someone is saying to you or just run away, those might be the issues you most need to address. Do you know what? Running away from growth will never yield happiness and satisfaction. If you live just to be comfortable, you'll never be satisfied with life because it's not the life God shaped for you. There are a lot of self-righteous Christians out there who are never content or happy because they refuse to grow. They only desire to impose their shallow version of Christianity on others. We're actually most alive when we're struggling to grow. So how do you prepare to seize moments of growth? First, when a challenge presents itself, face it. Push past the first feeling of discomfort or anger at being called out and try to discern why you're so uncomfortable. Second, lean into the moment. Try and embrace this seemingly new teaching, and you may find out that it is probably just a basic tenet of our faith already. And finally, give someone you know, someone who cares about you, permission to challenge you about or in the moment. And recognize that some people were placed in your life to do just that, to challenge you to love deeper. People like Pope Francis and others. Your spouse already has this permission, just don't have to tell them about it. Use this authority, though, with a degree of caution. Receive their challenge with honesty and humility, and look for God in these moments. Remember, at the end of the day, God cares more about your character than he cares about your comfort.